Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Let's get started.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
Oh, hi. Great to have you along on a Tuesday.
Tuesday, how have you been?
Really good.
You look tan.
You do.
Really good. Yeah, I got some color forgetting to wear stuff. My Derm Glow sun
Mike,
guard.
you gotta
I
wear
didn't have
it.
it on.
Trust me, you gotta wear
It's
it.
been a lot of sun cancer.
Sun cancer, Mike.
That's what I like to call it.
He wants to lead with it, doesn't he?
Yes.
Well, I don't hate on the guy like you guys do.
Oh, stop. Now, see, that's not.
It's the truth.
All right. We'll start. God, don't do this to
It's
me
like
on
you
the
guys are
first
giddy.
day of the week.
I'm sad.
I'm always sad.
Yeah, you are. Pretty much. How was everybody's Labor Day?
I had a fantastic Labor Day weekend.
Mm.
I saw the mama, Mami Nia. She's back from Bolivia, as you know.
How's she
Wonderful.
feeling?
She's great. I threatened to leave the house twice this weekend because I said I won't be. I didn't say bullied. I didn't come over here to get yelled at. So there are options, which is nice.
Oh, wow. So you ran your mom's house just like you run this show.
Yeah. I said I'm taking care of you, lady. I love you. It's okay that Shan took out the trash. I'm not a bad person. So she's like, you should be doing that. And I said,
that's man's work.
I said, I would love to do that, but I was upstairs and I can't read people's minds and I didn't know that the trash was full. We're good.
Maybe a little too much togetherness over the weekend, perhaps?
With my mom? No, I think that she came back from Bolivia and
Was she like re-energized? Was it a different mom?
my father has a great setup in Latin America. The cost of living is much more affordable. So they have, he has a driver, he has a maid and someone that cooks for him. I'm sure it's the same person. I don't know the layout.
Gumar?
So I think my mom was I think she got
His
used to
girlfriend.
being taken care of.
Yeah.
Have you seen photographic evidence of the maid? Have you seen a
No.
picture of the maid?
I have,
No,
Mike.
no.
If you've ever seen the movie Clue, she looks like Yvette the maid from the movie Clue.
I have not seen the movie Clue.
Worth
You
a Google.
dork. I haven't seen the
Hey,
movie
slack
Clue.
off, all right?
Dork. Like who's seen the movie Clue?
Nobody, Mike. No one's ever seen it.
I guarantee there are not many people that have seen it. It's not like The Equalizer 3.
More people have seen Clue than have seen The Equalizer 3, based on the fact that it's only been out for 4 days.
All right. I loved it, though.
Clue
I
or
had
The
a
Equalizer?
Clue I've never seen. I wouldn't want to go see Clue. It's a movie based on a board game.
If I sent you
Stupid.
a digital versatile disc of
No.
Clue, would you watch it?
No, anyone sends me DVDs, they go in the garbage.
Well, that's nice.
I don't have a player anymore.
Mike, but you are a player.
Send me a link,
Okay.
or something like that. But no.
The movie was released with 3 endings.
All right. When was the last time it was in theaters?
I think they just redo it like 20 years ago?
I saw it in a theater with Robert about 5 years ago.
I think they just redid it 20 years ago.
1985, it says?
Yeah, it was part of a Hollywood golden era, the mid-'80s.
Yeah.
It's a grand movie, Mike.
30 years
All
ago?
right.
Yes.
Okay.
Some of your favorite people are in it.
Okay.
I really thought they redid Clue later than that, but it is 85.
No, it is 85.
I hate, you know why? You know what? Equalizer 3, Clue,
Yes.
2 different worlds. And one world I love and the other world I don't. Equalizer 3, phony fake violence that's designed to look as real as possible. Clue, lighthearted, like, oh, someone committed murder. Let's make it fun and interesting, It's like, no offense to our friends at 98 Rock and Mr. Rob Mayer, but, the murder mystery things.
Yeah.
Not, I like just straight Rob Mayer
you can't
stand-up.
you can't compare to the two.
Well, it is kind of like the Murder on the Orient Express.
Okay.
There's
Yes.
another Only Murders in the Building.
Yes.
That's
See,
similar.
I'm into that. I'm third season's
I'm
out.
trying to think.
Caught up.
Yeah, third
What's
season.
the other one?
Hmm?
What's the
Holds
other
up.
one? They have,
Murder, She Wrote?
Murder, She Wrote. Knives Out. Yes.
You didn't like Knives Out?
I told you I like Knives Out.
And the sequel was just as good, I thought.
But it's that fluffy kind of lighthearted murder mystery, right?
Well,
it's kind of like it's got a comedy.
You know what it is, Mike? It's a drawing room comedy.
Isn't it an updated Clue? I feel like I get the Clue vibes.
Yeah, it's an updated Clue. Knives Out would be an updated Clue.
Absolutely.
100%.
I loved it.
Equalizer 3, gratuitous violence in a beautifully done way. Like, for example, the murder mystery, murder type stuff that I like in my movies is Goodfellas, Equalizer 3, The Godfather, where the violence and the murder is just like, oh my God, did you see what just happened? And I was, Carla.
There's room for both kinds of murder.
I know, I'm not putting down, maybe I'm, when you
You
reference
absolutely
Clue,
are. When you, the immediate reaction you had is that I'm a dork.
Well, I'm a dork too, in some regards, right?
Well,
I'm a dork. I remember I was conducting the end of Buddy Rich's West Side Story medley with Carla when we first started dating at an intersection, and I go, and at the end it goes, dun, dun, and I'm going like this at the intersection. I'm going, dun, dun, dun. And she looks at me. She hardly knew me. Then she goes, "You're a dork."
Well, she calls me a dork all the time. She hands that out
you
like
are a bigger
Tic Tacs.
dork than I am.
Yeah,
you are a bigger dork.
Yeah,
yeah.
But not because I like Clue.
Yeah, but it's one of your dorky things that you do.
Clue is
there's a lot of dork
beloved.
in the show today. I'm a dork to an extent.
It's okay. I think it's celebrated not on this show, but these days.
Celebrated the celebration of dork.
Yeah, geeks rule the world. God bless them.
Geeks. There are geeks everywhere. There are hockey dorks.
Yep.
There are bowling dorks.
Mm-hmm.
There are golf dorks. Geeks run the world. I think Oscar's right. You see them.
It happened
everywhere.
with video games and computers. Yes. It happened.
Right.
It wasn't the case when you were a kid, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
It was
we didn't
different.
have computers.
Right. You just had a
We had a Good Humor Man, and we had Ellis Incorporated.
Did you?
You know what Ellis Incorporated is?
No.
I think maybe I was 5 years old.
Yes.
And I'm standing on the curb watching the trash collection. Big truck, fascinating for a little boy.
Absolutely. Big helpers. We love them.
And he comes by and he's loading the trash into the back of the trash truck. And I looked at him and I said, "Hi, Mr. Garbage Man." And as he's getting into the side, he says, "The name's Ellis Incorporated. Can't you read, kid?" And he slams the door and the garbage truck drives on. And I'm going,
was that Mr. Ellis?
I think it might have been.
I think it was probably Ellis's son.
Yeah, I don't think it was Ellis because he was in the passenger side. He was the guy that handled the barrels, the trash barrel.
Yeah. And then, Mike, you went back to chasing the mosquito trucks.
Give me the chemicals,
mosquito
sir.
trucks
The
in
chemicals.
we didn't have those. In fact, we didn't have mosquitoes that bad where I live. In Maine, they have them, but not where I was.
Absolutely.
So getting back to the remarkably satisfying movie experience.
Mm-hmm.
This is, why are you chuckling? Why are you chuckling?
For me, this is the only show in America, which is probably what makes it great, that we are comparing a modern blockbuster to a 1985 release
a 40-year-old movie.
of the movie Clue.
I didn't choose to do that.
I get it, but the fact that we got there is unique to this show.
The dork chose to do that.
A dork chose to do it. I refuse to be referred to as the dork. No. I do not accept it.
The dork.
I don't accept it.
The dork. There he is.
But it's what makes this show so good. There's no way if you had a bingo card or if you had some sort of parlay that you were going to say this is what's going to happen.
What two movies will we be talking about?
Clue.
The Equalizer 3, wildly popular, great opening weekend. Or
Clue. 85.
Or Clue.
Yes. No.
Guess what, Mike?
Mr. Bubbles in the parlor with a candlestick. Duh.
You're showing your ignorance. There's no Mr. Bubbles at all.
Whatever. Right? Candlestick?
If you like.
Murder weapon, right?
Yeah, that's one of the murder weapons.
What was? Let me figure out the murder. Yeah, and then nobody gets killed, right?
Oh, there are several deaths in the movie.
I definitely played Clue when I was a kid with your
may
friends,
have played
right?
Clue.
That was something,
Clue.
but not on a regular basis.
Was it a Spanish version of Clue?
I did play Clue. I did play Clue. We had Thursday night was Clue night. We called it Dork Night.
Well, Would you just let it go? It's a great board game and a great movie with a fantastic
I
following.
wouldn't call it a great
In 10
movie.
years, no one will remember your movie, and everyone will remember
Equalizer's
Clue.
been remade a zillion times.
The Equalizer's a franchise. A Hollywood trilogy means it's
Based
one
on
of
a
the
TV
most,
show.
But it's one of the most successful franchises in movie history.
It will be forgotten.
Also, Clue
an ass.
intolerant.
What's that?
They don't have a very diverse cast.
Well, that's true. I'm sorry about that.
Were they
It was
all
a
white
different
people?
time.
Were they all white? That's why he loves it too.
It was a different
It's all
time.
white. And he's all bitter because Jerry's dead. Because
Wow, did you step on a tack or something?
what do you mean?
You're out with your guns out
I do.
today.
I was.
And he's all mad because Jerry's
I
dead.
was thinking
Well, you
of,
are.
Of
You said
yesterday.
Labor Day.
I hate Labor
sucks.
Day.
Yeah, in our pre-show
Yeah.
meeting, you said I hate Labor Day.
You know what I should have done this Labor Day is watch one of those great all-white comedies, Clue.
Who's starting Clue? Let's
Well,
get
you-
it out of your system.
Well, no, I mean, there's Eileen Brennan, Christopher Lloyd, Madeline Kahn, Martin Mull,
Oh God.
Lee Ving. I can't think of who plays.
Who's Lee Ving?
He was
Who is Lee Ving?
he was actually a punk rock singer that plays the guy who got killed, Mr. Body.
Hmm.
And then
How do you remember it all?
Leslie
so
Ann
vividly?
Warren. I'm going around the circle here. That might be it.
I have the IMDb. Did
Okay.
you?
Did-
You mentioned Tim Curry, right?
Yeah, I did. I hope I did.
Eileen
He's-
Brennan. You
yes.
did. Madeline Kahn.
Yes.
Michael.
I feel like
McKean.
I'm on-
Michael
oh,
McKean. Forgive me. It's
Shut
Mr.
up.
Green.
I feel like I'm on a stagecoach and I've been hijacked. Here I am, all excited about a recently
Still
released
in the
film,
theaters.
yeah.
still in theaters, and here we are talking about Leslie Ann f***ing Warren.
Oh, you know what? You wouldn't say that if you saw her. She looks pretty good in this movie.
Oh yeah, in this movie 25 years ago.
I
Like
think
40
30
years ago. A
yeah.
little respect.
85.
So let me get back to
Please.
my buddy Denzel.
Yes.
And it just, Carla did not necessarily really want to go.
You got her to go,
She-
though?
She went to humor me. She went as a solid for me, and it
she
was
hates
really.
the movies.
She's not a big movie person. and
More of
this
a
certainly-
theater person, right?
This is a guy's movie, really,
No,
when you
yeah,
think
yeah,
about
yeah,
it. It's a revenge vigilante
Mhm.
type thing. And man, oh man, I just have to say, when you're looking for something, when you've seen two of the other ones and they give you what you want, this movie delivers what you want with beautiful cinematography because they shot it in Italy, in Sicily, and it was magnificent to look at. And Denzel is the perfect role. It's just great. I loved it.
I will say the cinematography in Clue is not that great.
What?
Why do you keep going back to Clue when I want to talk about The Equalizer?
Mike, I was handing you
Because
something.
Jerry's dead? Is that why? Is
Jerry's-
that why you want to do
that
it?
That has nothing to do with it.
Labor Day weekend sucks because I can't watch television all weekend.
Is that
what it
supposed
was?
to be me?
Is it? Well, isn't that what it was? I mean, you used to stand in front of the magic box all weekend or sat
Yeah,
and watch. But it'd be, how many years has he been off the telethon? Like a decade.
probably.
More than that, right?
Yeah, it's still sad, though. I miss it.
You miss the nostalgia.
Well, I miss the whole thing.
Okay.
I did it
What's
for-
the whole thing?
The whole
the whole schmear?
the whole fabric of the telethon, that it would be on from Sunday night till Monday evening. Oh, don't ask me a question, then roll your eyes. Not fair.
So you go ahead. Go ahead.
Nah, I'm done. I
Okay,
love
good.
No,
Labor
now,
Day.
come on.
No, Labor Day
Good.
was great.
How many years
Okay.
ago did Jerry die?
I believe it was like 8 or 9 years ago.
Okay.
I don't know for a fact.
How come you, if you can remember the whole cast of Clue, how come you can't remember when your hero died?
How come you can't do simple mathematics? There's things we can do and there's things
What do
we
you mean
can't do.
simple mathematics?
You're not very good at math.
Well, but I mean, what do you mean? Are you using that as like a general example?
I'm just saying that everyone has things they excel at and things they don't excel at.
How
I
come
don't
you
remember
can't
that.
see your penis. We could play this game all day long.
Well, I didn't bring my glasses on.
Okay. Now that we got that out of the way,
Yes.
gentlemen,
Jesus.
it's fair to say that with time, things
Right.
should get better, right?
I would hope so.
So these weekends that used to be about Jerry,
Right.
especially when he stopped doing the telethon and they did the ice bucket challenge and moved beyond these telethon days.
Mm-hmm.
I guess when can we finally say, all right, that chapter's over?
I don't know. I guess
I'm asking.
I guess it's up to the way I feel.
Yeah.
And I can't dictate the way I feel.
So you're still bummed about it.
I am bummed about
Okay.
it. And I don't like that Labor Day signifies the end of summer. And I don't like that Labor Day signifies the beginning of school for kids. I remember that was a drag for me. I think Labor Day is a sort of sucky holiday. I don't like
the Equalizer, what?
I
You
just
done?
don't like it. Yes, I'm quite done.
So the Equalizer 3 was just the thing that I loved about it is that it gave me everything I wanted. I bought a large popcorn and I ate 1 inch around the top, and then I couldn't eat anymore because the drugs are kicking in,
right.
And that was great. And at the end, even Mrs. O'Mara liked it. And then I went home and I got on the movie review sites and I saw that it was getting the best reviews of any film in the franchise. And if you like Denzel Washington, I'm here to tell you, you want to go out and be really satisfied in the theater. It's worth going. And even though the fancy theater is no longer fancy down here because
what happened?
Well, I think like many theaters, it's a little threadbare.
Yeah.
And when you look at the back of the headrest on those big recliners they have, there was a need for an update. You okay?
Yes.
What happened?
I'm just laughing at what he brought up because I'm reminded of the scene in Coming to America when they get up from the couch and there's the huge stains
from the Soul Glow.
Yeah, from the Soul Glow. And
This
I'm thinking,
is worse.
Yeah, well, you get oil. I mean, those are leatherette, and they'll hold that oil.
And well,
Soul
they're
Glow.
more like worn away. Whatever
okay.
faux surface on there, totally worn away. And I can understand that in the theater business,
yes,
probably a little difficult and challenging to do like a full renovation when you're really not, selling the tickets you used to. So
yeah.
it was a good time was had by all. And just I haven't been that satisfied coming out of a movie that it's totally predictable.
What was your last
1,000% predictable?
What was your last truly positive motion picture experience in a theater?
Wow. I don't know what the last one was, but I can tell you ones that I walked out of going, wow. Remember The Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Mm-hmm.
That was just,
That would be intense on the
stunningly-
big screen, yeah.
It was intense on the big screen. It really was. I liked the Tom Hanks movie, Mission Impossible, with my kid. I took him to that.
Do you mean Tom
That was good.
Cruise?
Tom Cruise. Sorry. It was really, really, fantastic.
For a second, I thought you were talking about Call Me Otto.
No. Didn't like
no.
And most of the Tom
That
Hanks
was
stuff
not good.
I watch. Oh, that was terrible. Wasn't it?
Assad.
So,
God,
I
that was
said,
horrible.
Someone might have mentioned. Was it you, Rob?
What?
You watched it?
no, I've heard about it.
Somebody
and
said you should watch. I said he should not.
it's very sad. And there's none of that in the marketing.
Anyone that's sad in my life, when they mention let's watch that movie, I'm like, you should not. We should not.
Make you more sad.
Yes.
It really was a drag.
And
was
they're
such
like,
a
why?
drag.
I said, I think there's 5 attempted suicides at last I checked.
Yeah, it's just, and he's miserable.
Yeah.
The people around him are miserable. He's horrible to everybody in there.
He's not Tom Hanksy enough in that movie.
Well, there's not a Tom Hanksy. Tom Hanksy is, look at all the characters. You could run the gamut. Tom Hanks can be a hero. Tom Hanks can be a comedian. Tom Hanks can be on a desert island, stranded.
I think Tom Hanksy, what you wanted to make a pure Tom Hanks role written for him would be like in that Home Improvement one. The house where he's that's when he's the most Tom Cruise, I think.
The Money Pit.
The Money Pit, exactly. That's
the
template
I
for
disagree
being
with
Tom
that because
Hanksy.
Tom Hanks really took off after that when he was doing heavy duty dramas,
So if I were to name some movies, you tell me if they're Tom Hanksy or not. Okay.
All right.
Philadelphia.
Yes.
Oscar vehicle,
100%.
Probably the best performance he's ever given.
All right. Forrest Gump.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Ding.
Phenomenal.
Can I get a
successful
ding?
Film,
Yeah. How about
Castaway.
Castaway is a good one. I know you love that
Castaway
film.
is my favorite Tom Hanks movie.
All right. What about Catch Me If You Can?
Catch Me If he took a supporting role in that.
Yeah, that's not really
and
his movie.
I don't know if it's his movie. I think it's DiCaprio's movie.
I think he is matched against DiCaprio the whole movie.
No, it's more DiCaprio all the time.
DiCaprio's in the movie poster.
He's part of it, and he catches him at the end. But no, I wouldn't call that a Tom Hanks movie.
All right. What about Bachelor Party?
Bachelor Party back in the early days, great comedy.
Yeah.
That's what he graduated.
Yeah,
that's
but
what he did.
I like that's when he's Tom Hanksy, I think, early in his career. But he is a great actor, and I love Catch Me If You Can.
And
I'll never turn that off.
much like my buddy Denzel Washington, and there were some snarky critics that were saying he's too old to do the action. It's like, oh, screw you! It's the movies. Look at how many actors have been in their 60s and 70s and still done action scenes. I mean, it happens, right?
Well, they de-aged,
leave the man alone.
They de-aged Indiana Jones this summer.
Out on Disney Plus.
Oh, is it out already?
Yes.
There's a good place to not watch it.
That tells you how good that did. I mean, that was a little bit of a disappointment.
It was.
Overall, compared. So if you want to go with a guaranteed action adventure, bad guys are really bad, good guys are really good, super cool, and then my vigilante kind of anti-terrorist, satisfying weekend ended with, really, I might just say, the best Taylor Sheridan vehicle I've seen in a long time. Did you catch the end of Lioness?
We're up to date. What a fantastic season
for season
ending.
1.
Yeah.
I mean, just
season finale.
So much, and what's sad is now I think about the actors' strike, and I'm like, wow, when are we going to, get I saw so many payoffs this weekend with great entertainment and quality stuff. And believe me, I like coming in and throwing darts at stuff, but I want to tell you when something's really good. This TV series,
if you haven't, it's worth the subscription.
I watched a couple of episodes of it this weekend.
1 and 2?
Yeah.
I see 1's a little slow. 2, you get a lot of violence.
Should I stay with it? Because I was unimpressed. It was very unpleasant. Very unpleasant.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
I think if you,
it's about,
we're not going to see torture. It's about
terrorism. It's about torture.
Yeah.
It's about special ops. It's about people that risk their lives in the service of their country. And what do you want to be pleasant?
Well, I mean, it's just it was not.
I mean, pleasant is not how. If you're looking for pleasant, I would not continue to watch.
No. Okay,
you're not going to get.
That's
pleasant.
what I needed. Okay,
that'll put you. Did you find Yellowstone unpleasant?
No.
Okay,
I did not.
Because Yellowstone has some.
It's an interesting question that you asked there.
Because there's chaos in Yellowstone.
Sure,
chaos, but there's also, there's a tiny bit of comedy in Yellowstone. There's a bit of there are a lot of different
good characterization in that
going on.
Yeah. There's in Lioness. And look, you're not the only one. Even some of the reviews are like, it is hyper violent.
Yeah, no real comedy. In fact, no comedy.
It's a lot of.
Would a couple puns kill them?
The sacrifice these people are willing to make for their country.
Yes.
Yeah, based on a real program where women embedded with some of these cells, and it's just
maybe not unpleasant is the word. Maybe it's a bit gritty for me. I don't know.
Yeah,
not my cup of tea.
It is. It gets better.
Okay,
because
as rule your recommendations.
Okay, just
go watch Clang 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 with the trolley or whatever after
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Well, you see, you're talking about different things. Mike is talking about Meet Me in St. Louis, and you're talking about Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
I don't know what that means.
It's his world.
I feel like there are days where I'm down for Lioness anytime.
Nice.
And I would like more of that. But there is a certain mindset you have to be in, at least for me, for the latter, for like comedy. If it's not really funny, then I'm gonna judge it. But
I left the world of sitcoms multiple years ago because it's so challenging to
like network sitcoms.
Will
you still watch something funny that's streaming though?
I watch a lot of stand-up comedy.
Okay.
I'm on a habit now with this guy Ian Bagg, and fortunately my feed is giving me a lot of him. He's a crowd work comedian, and he's just a guy that put him up on stage, and he's just a naturally funny dude.
But if they did like a show, like a sitcom styled show on a Netflix or something like that, would you be away from that? No laugh track?
I can't remember the last time I've watched something. I've watched funny movies.
Okay.
The last one I can remember that was funny, I don't know if a lot of people agree with me. It was David Spade.
The Wrong Missy?
The Wrong Missy.
So really great.
Good. Which was, I think, just missed by a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why that didn't get more. It was just it was a laugh riot. I loved it.
Lauren
it was hysterical.
Lapkus as Missy.
So I
is-
like it in movie form. I don't know
Right.
sitcoms. Just still, I don't care for it. The biggest sitcoms of the modern era, like from 10 years ago, would be what's the one with the weird skinny guy with the semi-bald head? That's like the nerd. That guy. I'm sorry, I don't watch it.
What's the premise?
I have no
Is
idea.
he a dork?
He's a dork.
Okay.
Oh, I probably watched
He's
it.
like a nerd guy. It was like wildly popular.
Let
the
me
last really popular sitcom.
Was Modern Family a sitcom?
Yeah,
Modern Family
was,
was,
a sitcom.
Okay.
I laughed at that a couple of times.
That's
couple of
funny.
times. I don't stay with the one. It's,
Oh,
God,
he's
they
thinking
all-
of the Bazinga show.
What's the Bazinga show?
Big Bang Theory?
Yes.
Big Bang Theory.
yes.
Thank you very much. Yeah. What's the Bazinga show?
That's what the nerd says. That's his catchphrase.
Okay. Yeah.
Bazinga.
That was that not one of the most wildly popular
Yes,
sitcoms
and was
ever?
it not one of the most wildly overrated sitcoms ever?
We could probably agree on that.
I
although
used
didn't
to
watch.
agree with you guys, but now I'll watch it when it's on. I'll find some laughs.
Okay.
When something's overrated, though, look, we're cynics.
Yeah.
When somebody's like really selling you on something, we're like, I'm sure it's great. Like How I Met Your Mother, wasn't into it when I was on television, and then I caught up with it after the fact. And I was like, this is actually really funny.
I think that the marriage of comedy, dramedy now, I like those. That works for me a little bit,
Which one are you thinking of when you say that?
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to single
It's
them
also
out.
hard to get into this in our line of work because you did afternoons, and right after you were done, you weren't going home to watch sitcoms.
Right.
That's
and,
true.
And when I did nights for the majority of our career, I wasn't watching. I was on the air.
Mhm.
So we were missing out on it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any appointment network TV right now.
I don't think it's
60
it'll be
minutes
less
still.
and less as we
Well,
still
I think it's
60
gone.
months.
I mean, what is it? Is it Charter? What cable company starts with the C? Is it
Comcast?
No, Charter Cable Systems, Charter Communications.
Okay.
That's what it is. So they just dropped. So they're in constant negotiation. All these cable companies with these networks. Anyone that's ever had cable, you will sometimes get a little crawl at the bottom that says you will lose
Yes.
these channels unless you call your cable provider.
I've
Right.
seen it.
Broke this morning and over the weekend. This one cable company that roughly has.
Is it Spectrum?
No, it's Charter Communications.
Okay.
They're of the opinion, they've made this public, that they're willing to lose ESPN and ABC as these carriers that are built into the bundles because they can't come to terms with Disney. This is, that might have changed since this morning, but I didn't even see the headline here. They're saying, F it. You guys keep those channels. We're making money off our broadband offerings. We actually don't make money off our bundles anymore. We're starting to lose money off our bundles and the servicing. We believe that our customers will just find your app somewhere else. So they'll get their ESPN if they want to, but we don't have to pay you. We don't have to pay Disney or ESPN for the content that half our audience may not even want because they're forced to take on.
Do you have any knowledge of the NFL Sunday Ticket YouTube
I've
TV
purchased
situation? Oh, you have.
Yes.
Okay. So
Okay,
I have not
explain.
yet. I have to because I am an out of market fan. So I'm going to do that. Anything hidden? Anything I need to know? Are pretty straightforward.
Well, you have
TV.
a smart television.
I have a smart TV. I am also a subscriber to YouTube Premium.
Two separate things.
Two totally.
Yes.
YouTube TV is, and correct me if I'm wrong, a package with YouTube TV could conceivably replace DirecTV or your cable.
We are
correct?
actually in the process of doing that at my home as we speak.
And you're confident that that's going
Yes,
to be
because
okay
I
for
did
you?
a test run this past summer I didn't talk about it on the
See,
show.
This is why he's the right guy for this, because you're the person I need to talk to, and I should have asked you off the air, because I'm a little bit, when you get the habit of having something for that long, DirecTV, and then they, I guess, didn't pony up the dough to get the NFL
rights?
Sunday Ticket,
Yeah,
the
the
rights.
rights, correct.
And I'm like, okay, and they're going over here for a
I'm over here now.
tremendous amount of money.
here now.
And now we've got to
Live sports.
make the switch.
Yeah.
And I said,
It's
okay.
actually, it's better for the consumer.
Okay.
And let me tell you why.
Here we go.
The YouTube TV bundle, little pricey, before not even counting the Sunday ticket, fine. But before, if you recall, if you weren't a DirecTV subscriber, you couldn't mess with it. You had to like get DirecTV in order to get the Sunday ticket. And if someone you were going over their game, you had to make sure they had the Sunday. It was like a whole thing. Now, this is all on your computer or your smart television.
You can take it with you.
You can take it with you. You can actually take your viewing experience. Let's say you go down
They ought to be advertising with us with this commercial we're giving.
You can take your viewing experience. When we were in New Orleans, it gave me an option at the hotel to log in with my YouTube TV credentials to watch my own viewing experience.
I've seen this with Netflix and Hulu as well.
And what's the thing you do when you cast it on? You can cast it on a TV sometimes.
From your phone.
Not even just that. I'm not actually. I don't know if they'll let you cast. I know what you can do on smart TVs is go to the YouTube TV app and log in.
Okay, all right.
But the idea that I don't have to, and I know you can go through DirecTV online now, all that stuff. YouTube is built for this type of experience.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to be at your son's game or at some birthday party with your iPad mic, and you'll be able to watch the games right on your device. Considering
they win
if you have Wi-Fi, or not,
and
right?
then but correct me if I'm wrong. They also have
all the other channels,
200 channels, something like
all
that.
The other, you can get that bundle. My sister, I gotta give her credit, in L.A. They have been a YouTube TV family for 2 years, or as long as it's been around.
Way ahead of the curve.
And what I thought was cumbersome was using the Apple TV because this app wasn't on television. They had to go through Apple TV before all that. Now it's on modern televisions. It's easy to do.
Then you have succeeded in because when your change is difficult and when you're used to something how long have I been a consumer of that product?
But forever, and you've come and gone. But I think you got it probably like 27 years ago.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah.
You're worried about the DVR? Forget about it. Like the 11th hour's tape for me. I've got NBC News, the nightly news.
I've pause a live football?
Yes.
All I need.
Yep.
Wow.
That's all I need, and I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I'm excited.
You could be in bed, and not with the glare of the big television, the 90-incher you have in there. You could be on your iPhone or your iPad, and Carla won't even bother you.
With my
your Bluetooth
AirPods
headphones,
Max.
Yeah, you're watching the game. No worries.
Greatest Christmas present anybody could ever get. I love those headphones. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to football. I'm also warning everyone it will be sleep deprivation based on the fact that 3 of the first 4 New York Giants games are going to be night games. So I hate that, but it's what I got, and we'll see what happens.
And you're not limited to football on YouTube television. They also have the movie Clue.
Speaking of football, later in the show, thank you for Clue again. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm glad someone thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Getting back to football. Later in the show, I wouldn't mind talking to you guys about a team name that seems to be stirring up some interest again.
Yeah.
Like they might be going backwards or something. I don't know. But we got to take a break right now. When we come back, we've got the round table. A very busy, sad weekend, actually. And we'll talk about that. And for anybody that, enjoyed that discussion, let me just say, get a clue. Get a clue, please. We'll take a break, and we'll come back with more right here on the Mike O'Mara Show. Whoa. Candlestick.
Guilty.
Stay refreshed and energized this scorching summer. Ditch the dull water and sugary sports drinks. The solution? Liquid IV, America's #1 powdered hydration brand. Experience the power of Liquid IV's new sugar-free line. Unlock unparalleled hydration with 0 sugar and no artificial sweeteners. Get 3 times the electrolytes compared to sports drinks, plus 8 vitamins for daily wellness. It beats water's hydration speed, and the flavors, oh so delicious. White peach, green grape, and lemon lime feel amazing while making a global impact. Liquid IV has donated 39 million, that's with an M, servings across 50 countries. Join me and choose Liquid IV for a revitalizing and world-changing hydration experience. Real people, real flavor, real hydrating. And if you're down on the surface of the sun, as I talk about all the time, and you're out in this stuff, in these elements, with the heat waves that we have in the United States, get yourself some Liquid IV sugar-free. Grab it. Grab the Hydration Multiplier sugar-free in bulk nationwide at Costco, or get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code TMOS at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you use promo code TMOS at liquidiv.com.
There's the
Oh,
horn.
my God. Someone has sounded the horn.
The round table horn.
Release the Kraken.
No.
Release the Kraken. Yeah, well, we didn't talk about this on Friday because it hadn't really happened yet, but over the holiday weekend, very, very sad news. Summer's coming to a close, and sadly, our Margaritaville legend Jimmy Buffett passed away. He passed away on Friday at the age of 76. He'd been battling a rare and aggressive form of skin cancer called Merkel cell carcinoma. He'd been fighting it for about 4 years. His last show was a surprise appearance in Rhode Island in early July. Jimmy was born on Christmas Day in Mississippi. He grew up in Alabama.
Wow.
But he returned to attend the University of Southern Mississippi. After graduating in 1969, he performed in the streets and bars of New Orleans. He was a Saints fan all his life, too. And he became known as a fun performer who didn't take himself so seriously. His biggest hit, Margaritaville, came out in 1977, all the way back when I was 18 years old. But around that time, he also put out a bunch of other hits. In addition to music, he launched a massive hospitality business around Margaritaville, became a best-selling author, and led a devoted fan base of parrot heads. All that earned him a net worth of more than $1 billion. He released more than 30 albums in his career, and a few weeks before his death, he was promoting an upcoming album called Equal Strain on All Parts. It's unclear if that's still coming out. One of the most famous tributes came from Paul McCartney. He posted a very long tribute online where he said, quote, right up to the last minute, his eyes twinkled with a humor that said, I love this world, and I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. I poked a tremendous amount of fun at Jimmy Buffett over the years. And the catalyst for it was that we had this main artery out in Northern Virginia that went out by the outdoor concert venue in Washington, D.C., used to be called Nissan Pavilion back in the day, where all the concerts were. When there would be the obligatory 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 Jimmy Buffett concerts, my commute was nightmarish. And then when I owned a bar, the bar had a special relationship with parrot heads. And because of my negative experiences with driving on 66 and my negative experience with parrot heads, I poked fun at Jimmy Buffett all the time. But I certainly get his popularity.
I don't think you ever really lashed out at Buffett. I think you was the parrot
parrot heads.
The
I
parrot
did.
heads you
Against the
didn't like.
parrot.
Yeah, I think you were anti-parrot head.
They're lifelong fans.
Yeah.
You know, the thing about it is,
You're
it
more
was
parrot head than any of us here.
How am I more parrot head? Because I'm
With the
down in the
Hawaiian
tropics.
shirts.
Yeah, and the Florida
The
lifestyle.
Margaritaville.
Sure.
You literally go to your favorite restaurant, has killer margaritas.
Yeah.
Look, there
With a
is
top
right down here in our town, Fort Myers, is brand new. They haven't they've broken ground and they're almost wrapping it up. Margaritaville.
Well, Jimmy's not
latest,
going to
the
make
very-
it to that one.
The very
Are you
latest
sure that's why they're
Margaritaville.
digging the hole?
Now stop it. Too soon. Too soon.
That is too soon.
But Jimmy Buffett, it was funny. He passed on Friday. I became very aware of it.
I met
And
him
then
in
there
my
was,
early
like,
20s.
There was a 48-hour lag before people
Maybe
started
in your
going nuts.
feed, because my feed was jammed with parrot heads.
On Friday night?
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
but it continued throughout.
of people my age, like sharing pictures with each other, of going to concerts together. That was the first concert I ever got cited for underage drinking when I was 18.
You went
Aw.
to a Buffett
Plenty
concert.
of them.
Oh,
And-
really? I didn't know you were part of that.
And then was fortunate enough to meet him as a complete coincidence. I was flying from Houston to Costa Rica, and I was 21 to visit my sister, and he was on the same plane with his whole entire family. And I was reading his book, A Pirate at 50. I didn't realize he was on the plane. We were in customs, and he walks over, taps me on the shoulder, goes, "How do you like the book?" I was like, "I love it. I was like, and I looked up. It was Jimmy Buffett.
That's
Are
a
you
great story.
You never
Yes.
told that story.
Yes.
He tapped you on the shoulder?
Yes. Because I was clearly, holding the book up while I was in line.
And you had no clue that
I
he
had
had been on the
no
plane?
clue.
That is and he actually saw that you were reading it.
I was reading it, and then but he was also within that book. It talks about how he takes his family to Costa Rica, and they love surfing. And we were in customs, and
So you were reading it maybe because you were going to Costa Rica?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
All right.
neat.
And I was like, this is great, but I didn't realize the beaches are like nowhere near where my sister was. But either way, and he had all these surfboards, like you would travel with golf clubs, but surfboard holders, and he was moving them around with his family. It was wild.
When you read
So nice.
the
That's cool.
tributes, every tribute, it just sounds like he was a really warm dude.
Mhm.
And an incredible entrepreneur. I mean, he really did amazing things. And I used to joke about, make hits, don't make hotels. But I don't care. I was always doing that just to chat about it. I feel bad about any parrot heads that I might have rubbed the wrong way on
I
that,
don't
because
think
this man is an icon. He
Very
is.
much beloved, and a very, he said
I hated the fact that he's gone. I don't, even though I was not a parrot head and I used to yell about Jimmy Buffett concerts and they're ruining my career, it just doesn't seem right that Jimmy Buffett's not in the world. That doesn't seem right to me.
It struck me, this is the first artist where I'm like, oh, I'm getting older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world.
Well, all your contemporaries are falling left and right. This is the first
when
one.
When I used to do,
That's nice.
I did. Thank you, Oscar. I used to do impressions of all the old school guys. Rob knows this.
Yeah.
I do all old school impressions, and that's when I first got clued into, hey, all the guys I did, the Bob Hopes, all these people, they're all dying.
Yeah.
And that's
But your impressions keep their memory alive.
I want to tell you. Hey, there he is, right there. Yeah. How about that Oscar? How about that Oscar fit?
I'm serious.
Rob, where did you line up on the Buffett experience?
I liked his hits, I guess. I'm not a tremendous fan. If you listen through the songs that hit, they were all remarkably similar, but I can't fault a guy for having a formula. You wouldn't find me at a concert, I'll say that, of his, but I appreciate what he did. And I really appreciate the way that for a guy who really hasn't charted anything solid in a long time, remained in the public consciousness.
Well, he was a great live performer, and
Yeah.
he did that with live performing.
Yeah.
And he also did it with,
Created that
relationships.
community.
Yeah.
He did. And
Yeah.
people want, it was their way of going out there. And, this is not the time to talk about my feelings on that. I think he did a lot of good for a lot of people, made a lot of people happy. That's the bottom line.
There you go.
That's it. Can't say anything other than that
We
about
should
Jimmy Buffett.
Just briefly mention that the Smash Mouth lead singer, not in the same realm
Steve Harwell.
or scope of Jimmy
In his
Buffett and his
50s.
impact, in his 50s, liver failure. That also hit me because, if you watch Smash Mouth on TRL, played him on WHFS, the all rock station we were on. It's just a little,
90s band.
People
One of the
go.
better ones, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Sad.
kind of a bummer weekend on Labor Day weekend for that. Who would have pinned Chris Rock as a Burning Man type? There were heavy rains in Nevada on Friday night, and it was so bad that thousands of attendees were banned from driving out of the Burning Man because of muddy messes everywhere.
Horrible.
But not Chris or Diplo, the DJ. They decided to walk 6 miles in the mud to get out. And I watched the video where they eventually got on a truck and rode in the back of a fan's pickup truck, and it just shows Chris Rock with mud on him and Diplo with mud on him. He documented it all and said, I legit walked the side of the road for hours with my thumb out because I have a show in D.C. tonight and didn't want to let you all down. Also, a shout out to this guy for making the smart purchase of a truck, not knowing it was for this exact moment. And there in back of the truck was the DJ and Chris Rock.
Mhm.
I don't know a lot about Burning Man other than it's a counterculture festival with music and art, and then they burn things. A giant man is burned.
Yes.
As of yesterday, the ban was lifted, and an exodus of about 64,000 attendees was underway. A slow slog, getting out of there, very tough. You got the desert that doesn't get anything like that, and then when that much rain comes down, it was Well, as Annie Wilkes would say, an oogie mess.
I can't wait
Get
for
out.
next year because it's going to be great.
We actually, Katie Cole, girl, our old intern, in front of the show,
Right.
I think she's been to Burning Man twice.
I heard she stayed for 2 consecutive Burning Mans and never came home.
Yeah, stayed out in the desert eating chips.
And the experience,
Sun chips.
Mike,
Sun chips.
the experience, the ticket alone, and the experience, it's multi-thousand-fold just to get there.
Yeah.
And to be a part of it. What I thought was fascinating is, one, Diplo did make it to his Echo Stage show in D.C. that night, which is wild.
That is.
The idea that you could get stuck in the middle of the desert
It's kind
is
of weird.
not. It's like that's something that I think would happen. You're like, I hope we don't get stuck out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
And by the way, the guy that died, I think, unrelated to the
Yeah.
rain and the mud and all that, just a guy that had an event and he passed away.
There
But-
also is a broader. I don't know if it's not so it's more like the haves and have-nots kind of lens where I saw this. This is not my original take, but it made me think. It said, isn't it strange that all these wealthy people go out into the middle of the desert and they quote unquote rough it so they can show everybody that they can rough it.
Right.
But then they can take themselves out of this situation in a heartbeat unless there happens to be a little friction or adversity, and then all hell breaks loose.
Mm-hmm.
Come get us out of here. Why there weren't more helicopters going in?
Well, they couldn't land them.
yeah, because of the mud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would get done down there, just hover above. Let me out, Burning Man. Yeah. I don't know. Never been to one of those big festivals. Always thought they'd be kind of fun.
I think they'd be fun. They look like fun.
Oh, I don't
think
know.
the music.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Even
you
if
don't
it goes right. And I love concerts. But
Right.
even if it goes right, that's not where I want to be.
You wouldn't want to go to a music festival for a weekend? I would think that you'd love it if they had some of your favorite performers.
Maybe if it was performer oriented, but still, when you see a good show, and if a great show goes like maybe 3 hours, and that's huge. That's like
Mhm.
a Springsteen show. When that 3 hours is done, you want to go home.
Yeah, I get it.
And there's no escape there.
Yeah, but I mean, if you
I
have
think it's
like
experience. If you have
the
friends you're
trailer.
going out
I don't
with.
have any friends.
you camp it, you sit around okay, we'll move on. We're done with that. A
Hypotheticals.
California couple has been left baffled after a slab of ice plummeted from the sky
Ois.
and into their attic, leaving a massive hole in their roof. John and Renee Leclerc, I hear the name and I want to give them an accent,
Hello.
said they heard a sonic boom, shit. No. They heard a sonic boom of the ice crashing through their Big Bear home just past 10:30, August 8th. Said it was so startling that they thought they were being invaded by intruders. My wife came out and she thinks somebody's breaking into the house, I said. I don't think so. It was like a cannon shot. The pair investigated the home to find shattered glass. There also wasn't evidence that a bear broke into the house, so it wasn't that. Instead, a 24 by 24-inch hole in their roof and a block of ice. Is it that plain toilet ice?
I
maybe?
would think that would be my guess. How many times have we called someone and
Right.
they've said it's toilet ice?
It's toilet ice.
Yeah.
Size of a bowling ball. It landed just inches away from a wall that laid against the couple's son. So there was almost a disaster. But fortunately, it just left home for Burning Man. No, for the university. Nearly a month later, the source of the ice remains a mystery. Well, how come they're not talking about poop ice?
Yeah.
Blue poop ice
What you
from,
need to do
the
is
aeroplane.
give it a taste.
Yuck.
Yeah, that's feces. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. A teen was recently taken into custody in Ann Arbor. If you're sensitive to this, just here's your little warning.
Okay.
After this teen reportedly bit a nightclub employee's testicles.
Oh, no.
According to authorities, Gino Hearn, a 19-year-old from Detroit, reportedly punched a Necto employee in the face after he was denied entrance just before midnight. When police placed the man in handcuffs, he reportedly resisted and caused injuries to a police officer's fingers. Police said 2 employees were bitten by the man, including a 20-year-old who was taken to the hospital for treatment. The employee reportedly told police the suspect grabbed his testicles and bit them. He was charged last Monday with 1 count of resisting assault on a police officer, causing injury, and 2 counts of resisting another police officer. He was given a $25,000 cash bond. Takes a lot of balls to do that. I'm not sure about that. Moving right along, everybody. A Delta flight from Atlanta to Barcelona was forced to turn around and make an emergency landing after a passenger had diarrhea all the way through the plane. This is our little final story today. It's a big bird, too.
Yeah.
An Airbus A350 aircraft was 2 hours into. Look, last time I flew, I said to myself, you never know, do you?
No.
You never really know. 2 hours into a transatlantic flight from Georgia to Spain on Friday when the pilot asked to come back.
Wow.
Because of the fecal fiasco. The pilot got on there and said, this is a biohazard. And that's right from live air traffic control. Well, let me see if I can do it. Hold on. I might as well give it to you.
We've had a passenger who's had diarrhea all the way through the airplane, so they want us to come back to Atlanta. Roger that. This is United A350. We're about 2 hours outside of Atlanta. We've got diarrhea all over the plane. Massive amounts of diarrhea.
Anyway, the identity of the
Capital
passenger
D.
remains a mystery, but the passenger and crew were transferred to flight.
DL-194. There's no diarrhea on this plane. Please feel free to board. You're now free to move about the diarrhea.
Anyway, that's another airline.
Why
Sorry
would
about
they
that.
leave? I mean, I've never heard such a thing.
You mean why would they come back?
Yeah, why would they?
Roger, that's a good question, Oscar. Yeah, Delta flight DL-194. Oscar, it's simple. It's a biohazard issue. You can't have diarrhea on the plane. You're not sure whether it might be,
Like cholera?
Ebola.
Yeah.
The Ebola virus coming out of the man's ass.
Can
So,
you
be
entertain
aware of
one
that.
other question, sir?
Yeah, pilot. This is the pilot. This is DL-194 Heavy. Yeah, Rob Spiewak, you're on. Go.
In first class, were they serving warm nuts?
Oh,
Yeah, they were serving chocolate-covered peanut.
no.
Thank
you.
you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you, sir. May I have another? I don't know. Cleaning crews were able to scrub down the aircraft. There's a great
Yuck.
job. Once it landed in Atlanta, since flight records show it was used for another flight.
Poor
Hey,
people.
that's terrific.
Poor
No waiting.
airline workers.
Delta officials confirmed there was a medical issue on the plane, and it had to be redirected to Atlanta to be cleaned. According to an insider, the company, however, did not elaborate on the medical reason for the diarrhea. So we'll have to ask Mr. Joel Rogers what the deal is with the Delta flight with diarrhea all over it. We're going to take
He's
a
on
break.
a soft food diet, mostly.
I want to talk a little football, including name changes for the Washington football team, which we talk a lot about.
Yes.
And happy birthday to John Riggins. Yes, sirree. From your Washington football team. Hi, everybody. How you doing today?
Didn't know it was Rigo's birthday.
Yesterday, I think.
Oh,
Let's
nice.
talk about Chime. Credit scores might not seem like a big deal, Wade, but low or no credit can jam up your financial dreams. It really can do that. That's where Chime sweeps in with its secured Credit Builder Visa credit card. Millions trust it to power up their credit scores, safely boost your score with everyday buys and prompt payments. No annual fees and no credit check to begin. It's your passport to Visa-accepted spots, all while bolstering your credit with your own funds. Level up your credit game with Chime. Seize your financial future. Your credit's a big deal, so build yours up with Chime. Just open a Chime checking account with a $200 qualified direct deposit to get started. Get started at chime.com/TMOS. That's chime.com/TMOS. The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by Stride Bank N.A. member FDIC. Chime checking account at $200 qualifying direct deposit. Chime. Darn it, I really was. I felt like I was really in the rhythm. Yeah. Here we go.
All right.
Forget. Oh, no. Chime checking account at $200 qualifying direct deposit required to not apply. Chime checking account at $200. Give me one more, please.
All right.
All right, here we go. Chime checking account and $200 qualifying direct deposit required to apply. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal fees may apply. On-time payment history may have a positive impact on your credit score. Late payment may negatively affect. Late payment may negatively impact your credit score. Results may vary. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, football. This week, the third down. The Packers are there. Vince Lombardi. Hey, Marie, it's back. Hey, football.
The
Football.
ghost of Vince Lombardi.
Hey, boo. How you doing there? Are the Redskins flirting with, like, doing something from a marketing standpoint, or is that just idle speculation?
Aren't they the Commanders at the moment?
Yes.
Correct? That's the latest, right? That hasn't
Right.
changed?
They are going.
Sorry, did I say Redskins?
Yeah,
I made a
it
mistake.
happens. I mean,
Sorry
we've been
about
saying
that.
it for a million years. They keep saying that they're not going to change. And
I don't
that
think
is-
they can. I don't think they can't change it back.
Yeah.
They can't change it back
That
to
ship
the
has failed.
Redskins.
Yeah, they can't do that.
But they can change it to
I
another
would
name.
love. Yes,
Yeah.
I would love for that to happen.
Is there any scuttlebutt in Washington about what people want it to
No,
be?
we're happy. I think they just put $40 million into their stadium, so
Yeah.
So
that's
people are.
we've got that going for us. There's no buzz.
A lot of damage has to be. I was going to ask you that. A lot of damage has to be
Yeah, and
undone,
this
right,
is-
to get that buzz back.
If you're in an abusive relationship for 20 years,
Yeah,
it's going to take a little time.
Yeah.
won't take time if they do one thing.
Win.
Win, baby.
You mean go into the bowl?
Oh,
Oh, we'll all jump
We're
on. I'm
going
excited
to
for the
the
owner group.
I
Like,
do too. I think it would be fun.
they seem like they actually care about this. And look, I'll be the first to say I was wrong. I just don't think. I think that name, the fight for the name, is what took Daniel Snyder down.
where he dug his heels in and said, "No, no, no."
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the
Or he
first
just said,
time he
"Not on my watch.
he showed his
Not on my
ass
watch." Mhm.
to
Yeah,
the world.
right.
Yes.
His little tiny
Yeah, people were like
9-year-old boy ass.
during what was
That just got really weird.
Well, he's a tiny man.
like
I understand, but you said
Right.
boy.
in the depths
Okay.
of the Black
Thanks for
Lives
spotlighting it, though.
of the Black Lives Matter movement,
Is he?
which I think everybody said, "What are you doing, dude?
Yeah, yeah.
This is not the hill you're going to die on now." And then you see that
And then that's on the heels of that. We have the whole sex scandal.
that was at the beginning. I mean, I just remember seeing that happen. And, I've heard forever. I got to be, I'm not going to pretend I'm something I'm not. I didn't realize the pain that the name actually was to be inflicted on people. I thought it was a silent minority. I mean, a vocal minority that I was like, okay, you see I see a lot of protests. I'm not 100% sure of what's going on. I'm not bringing it to the forefront. I had a couple of my friends being like, I'm just going to call them the Washington football team before they're the Washington football team.
Yeah.
Before they made the change?
Before they made the change.
And didn't
I thought that was kind of like, I was like,
Didn't the sex scandal break while they were the Washington football team, or was it before? I'm having a hard time.
No, it was after they changed the name.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
So
thought
to answer your question, yes.
Thank you.
I had to be educated of why it was such a hurtful name.
Yeah.
I just didn't know.
It had been accepted ostensibly for so long, it's hard to realize
Yeah.
what it had done.
And
Well, I get it. I think there's look.
now I
and
get it.
Yeah.
There is one thread that I read occasionally where that name was not. It's a Native American site where they say that name was not a racially motivated name, but it was based on something. It's very convoluted.
Yeah.
I think there are too many movies and too many times where you hear that used in a derogatory way. You can go back and film it's used.
It's not our fight to fight anymore. We're moving on, I guess.
Yeah.
You move on, but at the same time, I think a rebranding of some kind would be helpful based on the fact that there's no buzz about the team. And winning changes everything. It really, really does. But I'd like to see it happen. I am excited about football. That is now my number one seed. Probably that's taken a very long time. I was a baseball guy for a very, very long
Will you
time.
follow Washington? I know you're a Giants guy.
I follow everybody in the NFC East. So
Okay.
the answer is
All right.
yeah. I'll pay attention to it. It's cool.
Directly impacts you.
It
And
does.
The NFL is, look, it's a juggernaut. It always will be a juggernaut. I watched a documentary over the weekend about the Florida Gators with Urban Meyer and what the Tim Tebow era was like at the University of Florida and how nuts it was.
Solid doc.
And,
Watch it.
yeah, you watch that and you say to yourself, I'm not crying tears for people that choose to make their living any way they want. But you got to realize, that when you've got 80 guys that are on the sidelines at these preseason games, and half of these guys are going to be done, and they are busting their ass like nobody to even get the opportunity. And then, it's tough. It's a tough world. That NFL, those guys that finally make the field, that's a tough haul. That's a tough haul to tell somebody that probably was an elite athlete in high school and middle school and college and then got into the pros and was drafted to say, sorry, it's not with us. Maybe you can pick up with somebody else. It's got to be an amazingly devastating experience with that. And even with college players, it's amazing. If you want to know what big time college football was like around 2008, 2007, go check out this documentary. I wish I knew the title. Swamp Kings.
Okay.
Because they call the Swamp, that's the stadium in Gainesville where University of Florida plays their games. But boy, oh boy, look, I love sports. I watch a lot of sports. I consume a lot of sports. But man, sometimes what people go through for that is pretty over the top. And I don't know whether I see eye to eye, especially as I watch my kid playing, even in Pop Warner. There's an emotional level and an emotional component. And I've played hockey. I've played baseball. There's an emotional component to football that doesn't exist in any other sport. As far as Little League, college, pros, it's just, I think the violence of it, I hate to say that.
You can paralyze on any play.
Yeah.
And I think, but when I say the violence of it, Oscar, I think the actual rooting for the team, it's just rip their faces off.
Okay.
It's so intense. And you see that in that documentary, right?
Yeah.
Where they had Friday night weight work where it's like, break his spleen, eat his heart. It's just crazy.
You don't see that in baseball?
You recall that
PGA Tour.
I was in LA.
Settle down, sir.
And I was with Michael Corleone, and we were near the end of the pool, and I was like, man, we are getting all these eyes. Like, this is finally go time for old Corleone and Fantana. And coming out of the water like a swimsuit model, I guess he swam from one side of the water to the other side of the wall, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is this one of your Las Vegas, this is
LA.
days or what?
Tim Tebow,
all
just
right.
glistening, the water flowing off of all his muscles, coming out of the water like some serpent that was about to,
strike.
At that point, I think he was having sex. So he was about to take care of that entire side of ladies on that pool, and they weren't staring at.
Really? Was he hanging with the ladies?
Yeah.
It was definitely.
He's a charismatic, muscular white dude.
Yeah,
I think ladies are into that.
But it wasn't the Tim Tebow of the University of Florida where he was the Boy Scout, homeschooled,
no,
ultra religious, and didn't drink or party.
He was, and he may still be the same guy. I'm not saying he was drinking or partying. He was hanging out,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he was on Jimmy Kimmel that night. He was going to be the guest.
But you were that close to him?
Yeah, at the same pool, like little pool.
Yeah.
At any big hotel, it's a little thimble of a pool.
Yeah, we had to get out there. His suit.
We had to get out there early to get our little spot at the, the.
Did you get a kiss?
The chair. No,
he blew right through it.
I know.
He blew right through my question.
I did. He had abs. He looked great. I stared at him.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about his bathing suit.
Yes.
I said, did you check out his suit?
They weren't European cut then. They were like baggy.
Okay.
So you really couldn't see what was happening.
Did you try?
I would have. I have no shame in that.
All right, let's go. We have gadget talk to do.
Gadgets.
We have, and then tomorrow we'll talk about Rob's awkward moment at his community pool,
where I was wearing a European cut,
and where the Sports Illustrated swimsuit models were. Apple Gadget, they're new one. Rob, Oscar's getting into it again. Did you check out his suit? We'll be right back. Hey, hot stuff. Woo. Ready to stay cool this summer? Grab some dad grass and let's dive in. It's legal, it's organic, and that smokable hemp action will help you keep your cool. Spark up those pre-rolled joints. They're all about the low THC, high CBD vibes. And for you non-smokers, no worries. Dad Grass has tinctures and gummies that'll have you riding the mellow wave. No smoke required. Oh, and jet setters, listen up. Dad Grass is your travel buddy. TSA's on board. And they're not all like smoking dad grass, but they, it's approved. So you can take your chill on the go. Fly high, stay mellow. It's the utmost experience, my friend. All dad grass products are federally legal for ages 18 and over, and it ships right to your door anywhere in the U.S. Plus, it's TSA approved. Right now, Dadgrass is offering our listeners 20% off their first order when you go to dadgrass.com/TMOS. Say TMOS. It's the name of the show, all right? Don't stumble on that. You sound like you've had some Dadgrass. Go to dadgrass.com/TMOS. TMOS. Go to dadgrass.com/TMOS for 20% off your first order. It's a 3-day weekend. It always happens.
I know.
That's dadgrass.com/TMOS. That's it. Anyhow, gadget time.
Gadgets. Okay. I know you're probably not up on a renew. Do you subscribe or do you buy the new phone? What do? You just went to T-Mobile and they gave you a free one, right? Terrible service,
Yes.
but a free phone.
Not my service seems to be adequate. My wife's not so much. I don't get it. A lot of her calls are a little.
Doesn't that drive you nuts?
To the point of anger?
Yes.
That I have to control and keep it in my pants. What is that? What do you find?
Seem to Inspector Gadget.
I have lived in a subterranean apartment at one point where I put a repeater in to get a signal to my condo.
Were you T-Mobile then?
I was Verizon then. Verizon kills if you're not underground.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. No, I think that I am now I got the free phone, and if I want another free phone, I got a good deal on the phone, Wade. I didn't get a free phone.
Isn't it an iPhone 17 or is it a 16?
This one.
You got,
that
you
one.
got a 14. He's good to go.
Okay.
He's 14 plus, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken.
And I'm slumming. 13.
I've got the 12 plus.
Look at
That's
you.
how far the mighty have fallen. Old gadget Fantana.
Well, you got to upgrade.
Yeah,
Man.
dude.
I
Bruh.
think I'm ready to rock. The September 12th, the WWDC, the Apple announcement will
iPhone
come.
14 Pro.
Yeah. I think Pro all the way.
Mm-hmm.
The 15 is set to launch on the. I'm sorry, not WWDC.
The Apple.
September
Hey,
12th Apple event. And two things are coming out: the 15
Yes.
and the Apple Ultra Watch 2.
The watch that connects to your phone via Bluetooth.
Well, I already have an Apple Watch, but I don't have the big boy, the Ultra.
What's the Ultra do?
Well, if you are an outdoorsman, the Ultra can find you.
That's
they have
true.
a little SOS badge on it, so just in
So
case
it doesn't find you. It allows you to be
it
found.
allows you to be found,
Okay.
even
Does
when
it
you don't have
have-
cell service.
So it has feet?
No, it's
Mike, have you ever seen those little robots that deliver food? That's what it is.
It's a drone.
It's a drone.
This past summer, I was at my brother's pool, and all the guys had Ultras because they're all wealthy and doctors. And there's a way to expel water from your phone, and you hit a little button on the watch, and it shoots out the water that got into the phone when you were swimming. It is the coolest thing in the world.
But water gets in?
I don't know why it gets in, but it gets out.
But I mean, if it gets in, it doesn't
break
make
it.
sense.
It doesn't break. You just hit the and then like a little squirt gun, it shoots it
Water
out.
out
What
of
if
your
you-
phone?
Out of your watch.
Oh, okay. You said phone. Okay.
What if you forget and your watch and the
I
water
had that
stays in your
question
watch?
to one of the surgeons, and he says, "Haven't figured that out yet. Haven't learned." And I said, "Okay," but I like that you can go, and then boom.
Were they squirting anybody with it?
No, they were just. I felt like I was out of the club. I was like, I wish I had something to fill up water with and shoot out.
Remember,
Is that
Mike,
a
when you
camp?
would turn the windshield washer thing and squirt people?
Joey Pasker
Yes.
and I, Joe, this is how old I am.
Yes.
Joey had a Datsun, and we turned the wiper fluid that would send out a total stream. And when the ground round was emptying out at closing time, Joey and I would park on the side of the road and squirt people. It was
See,
fun.
that's better than an Apple Watch.
Did it have a camera?
No, I don't think it has a camera.
Okay, all right.
But
Well,
it links to the other.
Why
yeah.
would you want to take a picture with your? It'd be so awkward, unless you're looking for documents.
That's true. That's true.
So is that one of the
Creep shots?
gadgets you wanted to talk
I
about?
wanted to ask if you had the Ultra Pro because you're a watch guy.
Yeah, that's true, Mike. You are a watch guy.
I'm a old school watch.
Okay,
guy.
so
I'm not a
so
modern.
you don't have that like in your repertoire somewhere.
No, but I will tell you that as watch aficionado. And by the way, when I say I'm a watch guy, I'm really not. I mean, a real
Well, it's
watch
a hobby
person.
of yours, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have the, I don't have the disposable to put into it that I'd love to have real, like, luxury watches. I don't have that.
Well, the
That's
old
that.
Apple Watch might suit you better. That one you have to wind.
No, I have.
You don't.
Jesus,
You do.
America.
You do.
The watch that would be close to modern technology,
Yeah.
but not, would be like a G-Shock, which is an inexpensive,
That's true,
relatively
yeah.
inexpensive. They're very
Yeah, but
popular
they
now
have- they
among
have the-
watch aficionados.
How do you pronounce the tag? Is it Heuer?
Hoyer, right?
Heuer?
Tag Heuer.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Tag Heuer has a digital option that's in it, like the $3,000-$4,000.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not a fan. I like the mechanics of a mechanical watch, which is what they're called, an automatic watch or a winding watch, a watch that you wind. I'm fascinated and have been, and it's weird. It's only a recent phenomenon that I get into this. I like the old school mechanism of the the concept that you have a watch. And by the way, this watch that I'm wearing right now is an interesting watch. It's a inexpensive watch, relatively speaking, about $150. This watch right here.
Yes.
It's called a Vostok, and this is a Russian watch. This is a Russian submariner's watch right here. And the idea
I thought we
that
were
these-
against the Russians.
Yeah, where's the hidden microphone?
I
Did you
don't
get to RU?
I don't
.ru?
discriminate against other countries when it
Okay.
comes to their watches.
Okay.
There we go. So it's right
State
there.
secrets.
Think
But
about
it's-
that when
you
they
would
take us down.
Never be let into the FBI.
It's an
building with that.
automatic watch, and they're self-winding. And
Yeah.
the fact that
In Russia,
all
does
this,
time tell you?
in Russia, time tells you. In America, you tell time. In Russia, time tells you. Ha ha ha. Hello, Gilbert. No, but automatic watches, the fact that it runs on a spring with no battery or anything is very cool to me.
I
and
should,
that's
I
what
should,
I like.
be thoughtful to the audience. If you've got a 14 Pro or anything like that, the 15 is the same deal. It's got a faster
is.
chip. You don't need to upgrade.
So it'll run fast?
Well, it's you're not going to notice the difference. You shouldn't, at least.
Okay.
I have a 12, so it's time. Because
Your phone.
Yeah, Shannon said, why don't you just keep that? I said, well, I could replace the battery and it'd be brand new, but I feel like 12 to 15th is the furthest I've gone in versions of phones without even upgrading the mid. Like,
And you're feeling the battery strain?
yeah, but I could get this battery
I
replaced
know
for
you
$80
could. I know you could.
and keep it rolling.
Yeah, but you know what? I've got a 14. I don't think it's all that. I don't think the last 3 phones have been all that.
Really?
To be honest with you. No. Maybe the pictures, maybe the camera
pictures are
element.
really nice.
13
That's-
really had a
that's
nice
true.
camera. Yeah, that's true.
I don't use it enough, and I should. I should use the camera a lot.
Video's great
but,
on it.
Are you
it's-
also interested at all in clocks? I'm curious.
No.
No,
No.
no,
Like big
interest at all.
grandfather clocks?
No, I mean like a mantle clock or just an old school clock.
No.
Because my uncle is very fascinated by clocks, and he's not a watch guy.
The mechanism of time devices is fascinating.
Mhm.
Just the way the intricate design of these things really always makes me feel cool.
And rearing its ugly head again, which I'm starting to turn on because the marketing is starting to get me,
Oh no,
is the Vision Pro, which will come out next year.
no, Oscar, no,
And let me ask you this.
no.
What is the Vision Pro?
It's the goggles.
It's another thing for him to wear goggles.
Yeah, but I'm not walking around with a camera on them.
Yeah,
It's
well,
not VR.
No. They're
Remember
goggles.
It's
when
like
he was
the
a
Google glasses?
Yeah, remember when he was a Google Explorer?
They look. The Explorer program goes one of the worst mistakes I've ever made in my life, gadget wise. Yes, I'll say it. I'll say it again. Don't do it.
What will Vision Pro do that the Google glasses didn't?
We're 10 years or what? No, we're 7 years removed from Google Glass,
I think more than that.
maybe 8. And I believe that if this is a sports play, and let me ask you this, Mike. If you could buy a first-person view of the NBA Finals courtside on these goggles and get the ticket through the Vision Pro, your headset, and watch the game like you're there from your lazy boy, would you do it?
That I certainly would try it. I would experiment. Of course, there's not a sports fan in the world that wouldn't be like, get the experience of courtside seats.
Yes.
Kind of cool. Is that what this is supposed to do?
That's what
Can you see the spilled chili?
the Vision Pro is telling you. Yes.
Oh, the Jack Nicholson.
Yes. But the Vision, that's what they're touting right now as the sports experience.
Okay.
That it'll
But
give
somebody else will be.
you. It's not going to be somebody. It'll be a droid.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting. Will you be controlling it?
You
like
lock
if you look
in.
left?
Yes, you lock into that machine. This is one concept to what that little robot, and you look
Almost difficult to imagine.
and you look around like you're there.
I think it might have sexual applications.
You say that about everything.
I know. I know.
But that's something. Imagine taking your son to a Giants game with these on.
That would be cool. That would be pretty cool. That's almost. Is it going to be like insanely expensive?
Well, it's
at the beginning?
$3,500 to start for one goggle. Let
There
alone
have
the
been
ticket.
there have been higher prices
There has
for
been.
Yeah.
debut products.
Mhm.
You know, I wish we'd go to CES again someday. That would be
We
fun.
could. We don't. We
Oh, that would
die
be-
if we stayed
Yeah.
there as long as we did last time.
It
No, we
almost
can't do it.
killed us.
No, we got to go
2
for a
days.
weekend or something like
2
that.
days.
I'd love
And
to
come
do that.
right back on the second day.
We don't have a hookup anymore, though, do we?
We do.
We do.
We have inroads.
Oh man, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting wanderlust. It's been 95 all summer.
Wanderlust.
Is that your last gadget?
That's
Is that
my
all
last
you
gadget.
have for us?
Well, that's
Very
Apple.
good.
That's Apple on the 12th. Next week, I'll be leaving for Medellin on the 12th, if I recall correctly. So
When's that?
next Thursday.
Next Thursday. All right, very good.
Yeah, better get your squirting watch ready.
Lock him up. We'll be back right after this, everybody. We are sponsored by Groove Life.
Oh, yeah.
Level up your style game with Groove Life belts. I've made the switch, and these belts are my constant companions. As a matter of fact, true story, out on the golf course earlier today, wearing a pair of shorts that perhaps I should not have been wearing today, that maybe were just on the wide end for your boy, the last of the wide Mohicans, and I had to do a little Groove Life adjustment right in the middle of the round. I had to take it out and tighten that belt a little bit.
yeah.
And then it was perfect. The Groove belt boasts unique webbing, perfect stretch, revolutionary buckle with powerful neodymium magnets, no hassle, just snap it on effortlessly. I love the product, I really do. I've got 5. I have 5 Groove Life belts right now. Say farewell to bothersome belt flaps, the ingenious Stiff Tech buckle. Trust me, your waist will thank you. Plus, Groove Life backs it all with a whopping 94-year warranty, making it the ultimate belt investment. But hold on, there's more. Groove Life offers exceptional wallets and so much more. Elevate your essentials today with Groove Life. It's time to bring your belt into the 21st century. Head to groovelife.com/TMOS for 20% off all Groove Life products. That's the best offer you'll find, but you have to use our link, groovelife.com/TMOS. What is wrong with me today? It must be
It's
a
the
3-day
heat.
weekend.
It's the heat.
Diction, Mike. Diction.
TMOS. For 20.
The cannons roar.
I hear the cannons roar. 20% off your order. One last time. That's groovelife.com/TMOS for 20% off your order. Click the button on our website. Thank you. What's wrong with me?
The flip side.
Besides Smash Mouth and besides Jimmy Buffett, there was a third notable musician that passed this weekend, Gary Wright. He had 2 big records.
Love Gary Wright.
On the Dreamweaver, of course, and Love is Alive, both great. But he has a couple great stories I want to share with you. He was reached by Mike Myers to use Dreamweaver in Wayne's World. I think we all remember the scene, right?
Yeah, absolutely, with his girlfriend.
But there was a problem. Check this out.
And it was very close to the original, and you'd have to be like an audiophile kind of guy.
What he's referring to is he had to re-record it.
And it was very close to the original, and you'd have to be like an audiophile kind of guy to pick out the tiny little differences in it. But Warner's had lost the masters and the multi-track tape, so I had to re-record the whole track.
Warner's had misplaced the
my
masters
God.
for Dreamweaver, and so he had to
Wow.
re-record it.
His biggest hit ever.
Yeah, and I don't know where it is. I don't know where it came.
Sounded pretty chill about it.
Yeah,
you know?
well, I
mean,
think I think he probably did okay by that.
I think so.
And
absolutely.
also, this is the most amazing story. He was not only a great musician, and he was with Spooky Tooth. had his own solo hits, but he was sought after as a session musician.
Oh.
And he's talking about finishing up an album when he gets a call.
I got the phone call from Klaus Vormann, who had known George from the time he was
George
in the
Harrison.
Beatles in Hamburg, Germany. He called me. He said, I'm in the studio with Phil Spector, and Phil is producing George's first solo album since he left the Beatles, and we need a piano player. Can you come over right now? And I said, okay, I'll be right over. And I canceled my session. And I drove over there and walked into the studio, and there was George and Ringo and Eric Clapton, Billy Preston, and several other musicians. And the first track we worked on was Isn't It a Pity? George liked what I played on it and asked me to come back the next day and the next day after that, and it was great. We immediately became friends. And through that, we really developed a very deep, strong friendship, which lasted right up until his passing.
Talk about right place, right time.
Gary Wright
Man.
sounds like a guy that ought to be walking on the beach in Miami, though.
And we became friends right after that.
Still cool.
It
Very
was
cool.
wonderful. It was
Very, very cool.
spectacular. I
And
loved it.
I saw him with Ringo's All-Star Band, which was very, very cool.
Oh, so Gary Wright was in that group?
Yeah, one of because Ringo did a different band every year.
Okay.
But
All right,
he was
very
one
cool.
of them, so it was very, very cool. So he shall be missed. This is an unfortunate gentleman in Nebraska. He called 911 on himself.
I'm on Highway 77 going north, and there's somebody that is on the wrong side of the road. He had his brights on, man. He almost ran me off the road.
Yeah, do you know why I stopped you?
Yeah, because I was on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah.
Were you the one that called in?
Yep.
You were?
Yeah, because I thought somebody was on the wrong side of the road, bro.
It turned out it was you.
Yep.
Yep.
God.
My
Wow,
God.
that's wasted. That is beyond wasted. That never give him his license back.
Never
If you-
again.
You are calling the cops because you're so confident you think somebody else is on the wrong side of the road.
Like the
Good
scene in
Lord.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh my God!
He says,
Wow,
you're going
that's
the
drunk.
wrong way. How does he know what way we're going?
And then he gives it the Hasselhoff look, right?
Yeah.
Yep, right, officer. Yep.
That's all I
Hey.
got for you today.
Great show today. We will be back with a brand new episode tomorrow. We want to say thank you to all of you that have been supporting us. Keep up the great work. We love you. For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, Mike O'Mara saying so long, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Get out! You're not doing that! Face off!
Sabrina, don't just stare at it, eat it.